Did you know that more than 27% of adults in the United States are estranged from a close family member? For many parents, this heartbreaking distance is with their own children. But why does this happen? And is there any hope for reconciliation when years of silence have built walls between them? The reality of estrangement between parents and their adult children is a painful topic that often goes unspoken. As parents grow older, they face the overwhelming emotional burden of living without contact from those they once nurtured and loved deeply. This issue is far more common than many realize, affecting not just the immediate families involved, but rippling through extended families and communities. Today we'll confront this emotional weight, explore the reasons behind it, and examine what steps, if any, can be taken to mend these fractured bonds, especially as time and age make these reconnections increasingly crucial. Parents dealing with estrangement from their adult children often experience a complex mix of emotions, regret, sadness, and fear being among the most common. These emotions can linger for years, leaving parents questioning every action, every word exchanged, and every decision they made while raising their child. Regret takes the form of sleepless nights spent replaying conversations, wishing they had done things differently, or believing that, had they said the right words, the relationship wouldn't have soured. Sadness comes as a daily companion. Birthdays, holidays, and family gatherings become reminders of the missing person in their lives. For many, this sadness feels like a weight they cannot shake, making it difficult to move on or find joy in other areas of their lives. The fear, on the other hand, is twofold. The fear that the estrangement will never be resolved, and the fear that, as they age, time is running out to fix things. These parents often face the challenge of navigating these emotions while managing the practical realities of life, such as declining health and financial burdens. The isolation they feel is compounded when friends and family members don't fully understand their situation, leaving them with little emotional support. There is also a societal stigma, an unspoken belief that if an adult child cuts off a parent, it must be because the parent did something wrong. This perception further isolates the parent, making them feel judged or shamed for their situation. While some parents attempt to reach out, they are met with silence or rejection, reinforcing their fear that reconciliation may be impossible. This helplessness becomes a cycle, leaving parents stuck in a loop of reaching out, hoping and feeling the crushing blow of disappointment when the silence remains. For many, it's a never-ending challenge that requires tremendous emotional strength just to endure, let alone find a way to heal. Why do these estrangements happen in the first place? The reasons are varied and complex, often rooted in a combination of misunderstandings, past conflicts, and even societal changes. Some adult children distance themselves from their parents because of unresolved childhood issues or perceptions of past hurts that may or may not have been addressed. When left unresolved, these issues can fester into resentment, eventually leading to estrangement. Another factor is the impact of societal and generational shifts. In modern society, there's a growing emphasis on setting personal boundaries and prioritizing mental health. While these shifts can be beneficial, they also mean that adult children may choose to separate from relationships that they perceive as toxic or harmful, even if it means cutting ties with parents. The line between self-care and estrangement can sometimes blur, leading to situations where parents feel blindsided, not fully understanding the reasons behind their child's decision. Additionally, lifestyle differences such as political views, religious beliefs, or life choices can also contribute to estrangement. As adult children carve out their own identities, they may clash with their parents over values and beliefs, especially if they feel their parents are not supportive of their choices. In an increasingly polarized world, these differences can become insurmountable, leaving both parties feeling misunderstood and alienated. It's also important to recognize the role of communication, or lack thereof. Often, small misunderstandings left unaddressed can snowball into larger conflicts. When communication breaks down, assumptions take over, and estrangement can become a permanent state rather than a temporary disagreement. In some cases, the intervention of third parties, like family therapists, might be necessary to rebuild those lines of communication, but not all families have access to or feel comfortable seeking such help. Understanding the reasons behind estrangement is the first step in finding a solution. It opens the door to addressing those underlying issues, whether they stem from past conflicts, evolving societal norms, or differences in beliefs. Without confronting these reasons directly, reconciliation becomes a distant and often impossible dream. It's easy to focus on the pain and hopelessness of estrangement, but there are stories of reconnection that show the power of empathy and communication. Take the story of Linda and her son Matt. After years of silence following a heated argument, Linda believed she would never hear from him again. The argument, which began over Matt's decision to move across the country for a job opportunity, quickly escalated into a conflict about his lifestyle choices and what Linda perceived as a rejection of family values. For nearly a decade, they didn't speak. Linda wrote letters, but they went unanswered. She watched from afar as her son built a life of his own, seeing glimpses of his world only through social media. One day, Linda's health took a turn for the worse. In a moment of vulnerability, she reached out to Matt, not with accusations or blame, but with an honest expression of love and a willingness to listen no matter what he had to say. To her surprise, Matt responded. He shared how their past conflicts had deeply affected him and how he felt judged rather than supported in his choices. Linda listened, acknowledging his pain without trying to defend her actions. That conversation, though painful, was the start of their healing process. It wasn't immediate or perfect, but it was a beginning, a small crack in the wall that had separated them for years. Slowly, they began rebuilding their relationship, learning to communicate with empathy and understanding. This story serves as a reminder that while estrangement can feel like an insurmountable barrier, reconnection is possible when both sides are willing to open their hearts, listen without judgment, and take steps toward each other. It may not work for everyone, but for those who find the courage to reach out, there's always a chance for a new beginning. Estrangement between parents and adult children is a deeply painful reality for many, but it's not without hope. By understanding the reasons behind these separations and approaching the situation with empathy and open communication, parents and children can start the process of healing even after years of silence. The path isn't easy, but stories like Linda and Matt's show that reconciliation, while challenging, is possible when there's a genuine effort from both sides. It's never too late to try and mend these crucial relationships. Have you experienced family estrangement or know someone who has? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience might help others find the courage to reach out. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more discussions on family dynamics and tips for healing broken relationships.